And we are live. Hello, everybody at Sober Nation. It is another Thursday night. And this week, Veronica is actually not here. She's out on the West Coast. So I am taking over the Facebook page. And I am here with my two new friends, Ryan and Dan Smith. And they are the creators of ModernTie, and they are reinventing the tie, but they're also in long-term recovery. And I always love having, people on here that are doing something really cool, for the community and just doing something cool in general and that are also in long-term recovery. So, tell us a little bit about yourself. I'm really glad that you guys are on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. First, we're really excited to be here. We think what you guys do is awesome, and it's a huge honor.
Absolutely.
And so, you want to kind of start and kind of tell them the story a little bit?
Yeah. So I'm Daniel. I'm the younger brother. So me and Ryan are brothers. We're both recovering from substance abuse. I've been clean about 5 years now. Had one or two slip-ups before that. It was about another 5 years. So. Yeah, I'm really excited to be here tonight, and I'll let Ryan introduce himself, and then we can kind of talk about the tie and just kind of our whole story. So
I'm Ryan Smith, the older brother, and so I'm Ryan. I'm an addict. No, I'm just kidding. So we've both been in long-term recovery. Right now, it's been 11 years, or just over 11 years. So. Yeah, my oldest son is actually 11 that I've never used in his lifetime. So that's wow. Something that seriously, it means a lot to me. I'm never going to break that. So,
yeah.
That's kind of,
pick up a drink or a drug. So,
yeah, for sure. So yeah, just that they'll never have to see that side of me, So it kind of feels like a different chapter, different person even, but we're super stoked to be here. And yeah.
So I'm just going to say hi real quick to Tanya. She says she has 9 years. Congratulations, Tanya. Paige will have 30 days on Sunday. Congratulations, Paige. Alex says, that's awesome, dude. Keep it up. Hey, Rebecca, and hey, Chuck. Some of these people are regulars, so they're here every week watching the show. So, Ryan, you obviously went to treatment first, got in recovery first. What was that like, Dan, for you? Seeing that maybe you were, I don't know if you were trying to hide your use or, because
yeah.
The identifier, right?
We kind of started at the same time, and we both kind of think things went really bad at the same time as well. So it was kind of together. So that was one thing that was really hard, because being in the same family, you say to not be around people who are using, and when it's your brother and your best friend, it's hard. So our parents didn't know what to do. So for a lot of years, we had such a close relationship growing up. And then for these years, it's kind of like we lost that time together, and now we're making up for it because we see each other way too much now.
Partners, one office over. We even live our houses. My house is here, his is right behind my house. So I think we are making up for that lost time.
We're making up for the lost time. But yeah, it was. So we both started going to treatment centers. I think between both of us, we've gone to over 17 treatment centers. So it took a while for it to all work out, and still every day is still a struggle. I mean, everybody who battles that knows that, but seeing some light at the end of the tunnel anyway right now, which is a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And so you're in recovery and you started this business, right? You guys are inventors. First of all, you've invented a new tie. So how did this even start? What is the story behind this about your tie?
So the backstory on that. So prior to that, we have a marketing company that we were doing before so it's called Silver Fox SEO. We do it was digital marketing, SEO, stuff like that. And we always had wanted to get into product development, but it wasn't until one night we were going to an event, and he was out in my driveway as usual, waiting for me to come out. And I was trying to tie my tie fast and too long, too short. I just couldn't get it right. And I was like, there has to be a better way without getting a clip-on tie that you can just quickly get your tie to the perfect length and always have a perfect shape. And so I ended up going to his house that night, and I've got this bent up hanger, and I've got a pop can on it because I made it when I got back. And he's like, dude, what is that thing? I'm like, dude, this thing is going to change the tie industry forever. So just you wait. Like, it was a hard sell at first, but
Yeah.
well, like the rest has kind of been history from that point. So
Yeah. Do you want to go in closer and show them how it works?
yeah. So
A demonstration.
we're getting some personal now, right? So yeah, this you can easily just interchange this part out. So that pops out. So you can change it, and then this part, it actually slides right over the top button of your shirt.
Okay.
And so you don't have anything that touches on the inside of your neck. Nothing going around your neck to make you hot, like a little piece of a sweater, like the other part is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just easily goes onto your button of your shirt, just like that, and you're set.
That's pretty cool. Okay.
So I got one on too, so we can switch ties
you can
out.
like do the little change, interchanging.
Okay.
But I think I like that tie better. So
Yeah, take it back.
Okay.
Yeah, I get like interchanging and stuff. But
Wow, that's pretty fancy. Okay.
I bet you've had that on your show before, right? People changing their ties, yeah.
I don't know if we've had someone wear even a tie on our show before.
Yeah,
Like,
that's why we're dressed up, because we have to show off the ties.
Okay. Well, so I'm just going to say hi real quick to Martha. Her last drug was April 15th, 1985. Martha, way to go. I wasn't even a thought yet, okay? Her last drink was in 1992, the day before she went to rehab. Samuel Ash says, this is awesome. Chuck says he agrees. I don't know what you agree with, Chuck, but I agree as well. She says, even though situations are different, don't look back. And I think that's so true. I mean, all of us have different stories, but all the feelings are the same. We all end up, those of us in recovery at the same place. So, I mean, you guys are also basically some of the proceeds that you make from your ties go towards fighting the opioid epidemic. How did you decide that? I mean, I know recovery is obviously you're both in recovery. It has brought you guys back together, but how did you decide that? And what does it go to?
Okay. Take it, or you?
Yeah, so prior to doing the invention and any of that stuff, we had worked on something else that was Arm the Youth is what it was. And we'd always known once we were in recovery that our biggest goal was going to be catching younger people before they ever get into using in the first place.
Right.
And so we really wanted a way just to educate. And so once we started working on this, having it be a knot that it is, we thought, having it not another life lost, because so many of our friends in this area, living in Utah, it's really hit just like everywhere else in our country. It's hit so hard, and we've lost a lot of our friends. And honestly, we don't want to lose another life. And so that's kind of not another life, and a tie, it hangs close by your heart, and we really want to remember the people that have fallen in the past. And so we just, from the very beginning, we always knew that we wanted something to do with this. And so now we donate something out of every tie that we sell. And then we also have one of the programs that we went through, we're helping get scholarships put together for kids to be able to go to the program.
Okay.
And so that one is called Anasazi in Mesa, Arizona.
Okay.
And so
We both went through that and had the big beards coming up.
yeah, we clean shaven, came out with beards. It's crazy. Yeah.
Is that a wilderness program?
It
Yeah.
is. Yes. Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
wow.
So we can start fire with bow drills now, right? We can start fire with the sticks.
Yeah, we can.
So how did that, going through all of this, how did that prepare you for, starting this business, being entrepreneurs, inventing this new tie? What kind of things that you learned in recovery do you incorporate? Having your own company is very hard. I don't think I could ever do it. What kind of things do you incorporate from recovery, into your profession?
I think so many things. I think one thing, when you're using substances, you're very focused on that one thing. You're getting that one thing, you're very focused in on that and driven towards something like that. So if you can turn things around and use that same determination for a business or something that's a positive, it's a lot of ways it really helps keep your mind focused on the one thing that you need to get done, or on the big thing that needs to. So I think it's, if people that can get clean, I think a lot of people are creative and driven, and I think those are two things that are really helpful when owning your own business. So I think that would be what I'd say. What do you have to add?
Yeah, just like he was saying, the persistence, having the persistence to just keep fighting and keep going. Like even in this process, like our first prototypes of this tie, like it was close not to just run the other direction. They were so terrible. So they were 3D printed, just big, ugly pieces of plastic, but like just having that the drive and like finding the right engineers to help work with us and like having the persistence. Now we have like 3D printers in our office, and like we've just really just from starting with nothing, we've really put the time in now to really build something special. So yeah, it's just that persistence.
Right. Dee Dee says, "What? That is super fancy. Almost makes me want to wear a tie." And she's a girl. Wow.
Nice. Hey,
She said,
Yeah, we
there's not a female tie coming out.
do.
There is. Yeah.
Am I not supposed to say that? Okay. But she's 21 months sober and she loves us. So we love you too. And David has a question. So he wants to know, how do you deal with the what if? And I'm not sure if he's talking about like, what if, I relapse, or what if, we fail? I mean, I don't know how you guys want to interpret that.
We talk about that a lot. I mean, one thing that we always say to each other is if we can just not use substances and stay sober, no matter what, things will work out, whether it be through business or whatever we end up doing in life. Our biggest thing is if we can stay clean, then we know everything will work out. I mean, the way that it's supposed to, whether it be through this business or whatever we end up doing, we know that things will go good. Just living a clean life without substances, just you feel so much better. You feel clear-headed. You feel better. So yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
I think exactly what he said. Yeah, the what ifs, like it's scary starting a business and having the what ifs, like putting yourself out there, like what if people don't like it, and that's something that like we just say, what if we just put everything we have into it, like we think that we'll be able to work through the things. And like we'd heard something from somebody that really kind of stuck out. It's like the 10,000 hours or the 10-year plan, whatever it was, but
yeah, it's from the Little Red Book. It's a great book if you guys haven't read it, but it talks about the 10,000 hours and becoming like an expert at one thing. So yeah,
so that's what it is. We're putting our 10,000 hours into ties. So yeah, we're hoping that it's going to pay off, and we really feel like it's going to. So we're just working hard at it. So
and I think that's so true too. I mean, with the business side of things as well as like the recovery side of things, because I know when I got sober, I was like, okay, well, what if I like don't like myself as this person, right? I mean, what if no one likes me as a sober person? I'm not going to be funny. I'm not going to be interesting. I'm going to be super boring. And just like the 10,000 hours for, I mean, whatever, be an expert or something, I mean, recovery does not come overnight, right? We have to keep working hard at it.
We've definitely put in our 10,000 hours when it comes to our recovery. So we are experts at that with all the places we've gone to and everything, but it's still nothing you'll ever conquer.
But even with that, it's
still
just
so hard.
Always right around the corner. And like, it's lucky now that we do. And what used to be kind of a hard thing being brothers that we could maybe tempt each other to use, now it's completely the other side, where if he's having a downtime or I'm having a downtime, like we can actually really lift each other up and help each other through that time. So it's been a really good thing now in the end.
So, so would you say, and this is just like my personal question, do you think addiction is a family disease?
I personally do think it is.
Yeah.
I think that once you, like when I was in Sober Living by the Sea place in California, a doctor came in and talked, and he talked about how like when you use it, like changes something in your brain to where it's different. It's like you put that drug above anything at the time when you're using, like above your fight or flight, above all these different things. And like, so my personal belief, and I know everybody has a different opinion on it, but I think that it does change you forever. So
yeah, it's an interesting question. We met with someone earlier today who was talking about that there's a new swab test that they can take, and there's like a 10, I'm not sure what it is. He just talked a little bit about it, but it says how likely you are to become an addict or like need substances. So it kind of rates your personality. So I want to learn more about that, but it was really interesting. It made us both want to take that test to see if it shows that we were more prone to, falling to substances or something like that. So
Interesting.
I'll have to follow back up when I know more. But yeah, it's just interesting. Kind of went along with that.
Yeah. Do you mind if I ask your opinion on that question? Like, what do you personally think?
I personally absolutely do think it's a family disease. I've had family members that have struggled with addiction and that are in recovery and that have passed away. But I think that it's everybody is affected by addiction in some way, and it's not a single player sport. So I absolutely think it is. But I want to go to Curtis. He says, we live in today. The program and the fellowship give me hope. Whenever I'm tempted to worry about tomorrow, I keep it in the day. I can't talk. I keep it in the day. So I'm just curious. You guys are busy, doing business stuff. I mean, like, trying to get your tie in stores and doing lots of different things. How do you guys keep like the focus on right now, in today?
Yeah, that's probably one of the hardest things to start. Like, I don't think we saw success until we started just living in the day. Like, when you try to do 10 things at once or too many things at once, like, you end up just getting a little bit of everything done. And so once we kind of turned off the other ideas and really put all the focus into just the day we were in, and like just work those tasks, like, I think that's what really has been one of the biggest keys to the success that we've had right now. So yeah, it's a great thing you brought up. Great question.
Yeah, and I think when we get sober too, I mean, I know for me, my mind was literally everywhere. Like, I gotta take over the world, right? I have to like go back to school. I have to, do X, Y, and Z, or else to make up for all this lost time. And I quickly learned that like I need to just take things like literally, like they say, one day at a time, 1 second at a time, and over time, it's like built up, and like obviously for you, this has built up and led to something really cool. But I want to say Geraldine is a regular viewer on here. She says, hello, friends. I'm ashamed to say that I relapsed March 14th. I dusted myself off and have been to a meeting every day, taking a welcome chip. Very humbling. Geraldine, we love you. We're so glad you're here. Just showing up and doing what you have to do. And a relapse, it may be shameful at the beginning, but you learn, you didn't lose all that time. You didn't lose what you learned, so just pick yourself up and do it. Just keep on going to a meeting. Do what you are doing right now. I just want to say that to Geraldine.
Agreed.
Yeah. We love you, Geraldine. So do you guys think that you would be doing this like 10 years ago when you were in your disease? I mean, what did you think that your life was going to look like?
No way.
Yeah, not this, but like you said, those grandiose ideas when you're using, like you think, if you go back like 15 years, like me and my harebrained friends thought we were going to do everything. But quickly, every one of us, like, we all just crashed and burned from the addiction.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was fast. It wasn't something that took years to do. But yeah, now looking to when it was 10 years ago, yeah, like being inventors, we weren't inventors to start. Like, we love to like mess around with things and make things, but yeah, definitely not inventors. But
and so you guys have done a lot, and you were at the Oscars. Okay, so like I would never imagine myself being at the Oscars. I mean, I'm sure 10 years ago you never thought you would be at this place. What was that like?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, we love movies. Everybody loves movies, right? So it was cool we went to Las Vegas for a show, and it was just kind of a small show that we went to, and the right person came around and saw our product and our tie and was like, that is cool. I'd like to show that to more people. So we got the invite and got to go out there with our family, and my parents came along, took pictures, and it was really cool. It was awesome to just kind of see what it was like and be able to get the word out more, and just it was fun. Everyone was really nice, and it was cool.
Yeah, met Chuck Liddell, the fighter, Chuck Liddell. Yeah. So that was pretty cool, I gotta say.
Yeah. Hi.
Yeah. So we're making one for his son right now, like a kid's one that's like, because he has like all these suits, he said. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
So do you guys tell people, and I'm just curious about what like the response is, when do you tell people that you are in recovery? and I know this is Sober Nation, so like obviously we're very open about it.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if you tell people and like what that response is, because I know there's a lot of, even in today's world that the opioid crisis is very prominent. There's still a lot of stigma, and I think it's really important, especially having you guys on here, that like people in recovery are doing really cool things, are successful, and this is another way that we break the stigma, like having you guys on. Successful.
That's one of the things that I think I'd like to be able to a long time change. So just yesterday we were in a restaurant, and one of my friend's moms that I hadn't seen in like 10 years, I went over and gave her a hug, and it's kind of taboo. No one ever talks about the problems or anything like that. And I wish it wasn't like that, because if you learn and find out that there's so many people that are having the same struggle, that if everyone was more open about it, you'd be able to get help from your neighbors. You'd be able to talk to more people.
Right.
So she mentioned to me and kind of whispered, and she's like, my son is fallen into some of this stuff, and it's been so hard. And, I just gave her a hug and talked to her a little bit more about that. But it doesn't need to be a secret. You don't need to whisper. You don't need to kind of, hopefully we can turn it so it's not such a taboo thing to talk about. And it is more open, and it's something that so many people are dealing with. Really, it just needs to be more open, and I think everyone would be better off. So
yeah, and I think
the thing too, it's not like it's not the regular druggie that gets into this type of stuff. It could be anybody. It could be girls, boys, anybody. Like it's not like
no one's immune.
Yeah, no one's immune to this. Really, It could be anybody. So that's why it's good that. Yeah.
Honestly, like it could be anyone in your I'm in recovery. Like it could be my sister. Like you guys are brothers, right? It could be my sister, my cousin, my niece, my nephew. I mean, it's just you never know, and if people aren't talking about it, we're not going to know, and people are going to keep on dying. And that's why I'm so passionate about having people like you guys on here. And you guys have, I guess, the campaign that you're doing, hashtag Not Another Life, with like a knot, Okay.
Yeah.
What's that about?
Yeah. So what that's about. So right now, every package that's purchased, 15% goes directly to that. And then we have a lot of times when we'll be on shows, like even a show tonight, we're going to double the donations of any orders that come in during the show. And so, yeah, we love to do that. And so we have a promo code actually for the show tonight, that's Sober Nation. And so, yeah. And then also we do these kind of ties that are the modern ties. We also do traditional ties. Really, we just like to think of ourselves as necktie experts here. So yeah, all kinds, like even weddings, we have all kinds of colors for weddings that they can get in touch. And so really just all kinds of neckties. But yeah, that's the thing, is really just raising the money.
Yeah. Well, I'm so happy and like honored that you guys are doing that, doubling during our show. I mean, it really makes me happy. Gina says, I truly believe the clarity of sobriety gives us creativity in so many areas of life. My third year, she began to write in poem form unintentionally. Like literally she had to stop what she was doing to write in order to move through it. And it was always with the gift and of undeniable gratitude I have for this program and my life. I mean, I couldn't agree more. I think that sobriety, some people say sobriety makes you less creative, or actually believe in that myth. Like I believe firmly that is a myth. And, I mean, doing what I do, I'm a writer too. You guys are inventors, entrepreneurs. I mean, I think that there's so many things, especially when we're not using, that we can do. We can put our minds to literally anything we believe and achieve it. I mean, do you think that sobriety has made you guys more creative and what you are doing, have done?
Absolutely. I remember 100%. Back when I wasn't sober, you'd think you'd have this great idea. You'd write all this stuff down and you look the next day and it was just a bunch of gibberish. So yeah, being clean. Yeah, definitely. I think you're far more creative and you're far more likely to actually take the next step from the creativity and actually turn it into something, which is even more important than just the idea is important, but then also seeing it through. because even with this tie, there's been so many challenges, so many different times that we could have said, oh man, this isn't going to work, or this is hard. And you just have to believe and keep pushing the ball up the hill is what we always say. And eventually it'll be on that downhill side and pick up some steam. So
Geraldine says she's had 6 years of sobriety under her belt. Last Wednesday, she thought she could just have one. I can't have her drop. The next drink can kill her. Geraldine, I'm so glad you're back. I'm so glad you made it back. And, that's our thinking. Like, that is our disease, thinking we can just have one. And, it's really unfortunate, but we have to, keep up our program, our sobriety, and do the next right thing. So again, I'm glad you're back. And Bud says he's proud he's in recovery. He tells people in case they need help. And Bud, you are great. We are glad you are here. Curtis shares openly too. It's important because there's a lot of people out there that need this but don't know how to get it. And that's so true. I mean, Dan, like your friend, your friend's son, she knew you're in recovery, right? So she's talking to you and feels like you're a safe person. And, that's so important. So, so this hashtag not another life, I saw that you guys are asking for stories. Is that another thing? Okay.
Yeah, we'd love to hear stories. People nominate people that could use help. Also, people have reached out with different people are really generous. We've had guys that have reached out and bought a bunch of ties for 20 kids that he gave them out, and then we'll talk to the kids as we give them out to them. So yeah, really just anything that it's a new thing. So we'll see what it kind of morphs into. But right now, yeah, whatever someone would like to add to it, we'd love to hear about it or see it.
Yeah. So another question for you: how has being in recovery changed the way that you look at success? I know it's such a very broad question, but for me, I look at success today as what I'm doing in this moment, what I have done through the day. And if I stayed sober, if I did what I had to do, if I did what I had to do the week, I'm trying to be better than yesterday. Right. So for me, that is success. If I was, how has it changed for you over the years?
Yeah, for success like that, it's a lot like what you said, staying every day if you go to bed and you know that you haven't used. And there's a couple things that we'll do once a month or so. We'll kind of talk about a couple things that we could do better the next month. And really success before, I had no goals, no ambition, nothing when I was using. And so now success, it's nice to sit down and actually set goals and see yourself have a chance to reach those goals because you actually have plans in place. And so yeah, like you said, every day staying sober and then watching those goals kind of get reached. That's the way we measure success.
I think the nice thing is it takes the pressure off of business because it's not life or death. Business isn't life or death, whereas staying sober is life and death.
Sure.
So as long as we can stay clean, we know that tomorrow you can get up and have an opportunity to do whatever with the business or whatever that is. But the key is staying sober. That really is the key.
Yeah. And what a crazy thing it is that when we, today when we write down our goals, we actually achieve them, right? It's crazy.
Yeah, so true.
Yeah. So where can we find you guys? And what is next for you? That's what I want to know, because you guys are off to some, we're going to be small. When you guys get into store, we're going to be small over here. So.
You guys are always going to, But yeah, so right now you can find us it's ModernTie.com. So that's the website. And then at ModernTies with an S is what our Instagram and Facebook.
Okay. And I'll put comments when we're done. So.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, at ModernTies. And another cool thing that we've been working on is looking for individuals who can be role models to kids and really have them be against drugs and drug use or any substance abuse. So we've got probably 25 or 30 kind of influencer type people,
really talented. One's a really good BMX biker, another one's he races motorcycles. It's just really cool kids that the other kids can look up to.
Okay.
and they're standing against it. And like, it's kind of funny to think like younger kids wanting ties when, you know, ties are like, that's like the last thing you'd think, but they really think it's cool, just the functionality.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, it's a talking point. And so we use that talking point to get our message across that, you know, drugs are terrible, they'll ruin your lives. And so it really has opened up a really good window for us to talk to people. So
that's really,
and all of that's through the @ModernTie's Instagram. So if anyone wants to nominate someone, or if you'd like to be interested in the cause, like Not Another Life, reach out through Instagram or through our website. We'd love to hear from you. So
yeah, one website, so recovery@moderntie.com is another one that you can reach us at. And so, yeah, if you email us there, like a lot of people have kind of told us their stories and we love to read them. And really gives us inspiration, every one of these stories that we're reading. So it really does. So yeah, really cool.
We've heard, so many just great stories and shed a couple tears reading some of the stuff. I mean, it's been really great to see what people have been writing in. It really makes our day. So.
Okay. Well, I love what you guys are doing. I mean, it's definitely more than just a tie. I mean, I feel like it has so much more meaning behind it. And, you know, I mean, you could just go through your day doing this without including, you know, your story in it. But I think it just makes it that much more impactful. You know, I mean, you guys are literally breaking the stigma one day at a time. And I am so like honored and humbled that you guys are doing this. So, you know, I'm going to put the link on our thread, and I'm going to put their website, and I'll put the email. So if you guys want to share your story with them, you can. If you want to nominate yourselves, go to their Instagram @ModernTie. And then, yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us on. This has been awesome.
Yeah,
seriously, you guys have a great thing you're doing. So
yeah.
One thing just to add at the end. So really, the fact that we're here means that anybody that's struggling can have hope
for sure
that they can get to this point. Because at one point in our lives, it was very bleak, and it was not, you know, guaranteed that we were going to get to this point. So the fact that we were able to do it should give anybody out there hope that they can also do it, because they can. If we could do it, they can do it as well.
Yeah, so. It's so true. I mean, you know, if you're sober, you can literally do anything, and you guys are, you know, living proof of that. I just want to one comment. Gina says she's spreading the word, guys, as soon as we tie this live group up.
Yeah, there it is. Nice.
Very nice.
That's great.
Very good.
Yeah. Thanks, Gina. All right. Well, you know, we'd love to have you back again sometime. And yeah, and I'm sure we will see you in, you know, your tie in a store eventually soon. So, and I'll be like, oh, I knew them. Okay. All right, guys. Well, everyone at Sober Nation, I hope you guys have a great Thursday night. Thank you guys for being here again. We will be back next Thursday. And if you, you know, are struggling, you can always send us a message. You can send them a message. If you want to write for Sober Nation, you can always email me. And thank you guys for being here. We will see you next week. Have a good night.
Thanks.
See you later. No, I was kidding.